Welcome back to the deep dive. Our goal, as always, is to get you up to speed with valuable knowledge quickly and really thoroughly.
And today, we're digging into notary business growth.
That's right. We're looking at insights from our recent live stream that was, well, mostly aimed at notaries in Georgia.
But the idea isn't just about Georgia notaries, is it?
Oh, exactly. Our mission here is to pull out the lessons, the actionable stuff about building a business that anyone, no matter your field, can potentially use.
Okay, so where do we start? The source material mentioned community quite a bit.
Yeah, community and connection. They specifically highlighted something called a notary buddy community.
Right. It sounded like a national resource
Hmm.
for networking, learning, that sort of thing.
It did. But, sometimes those big national groups can feel a bit impersonal. I wonder how useful it actually is day to day.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because what seemed really key was that within this larger community, there's a private group just for Georgia notaries.
Ah, okay. So like a subgroup.
Exactly. And that's where they talk about the really specific stuff, Georgia laws, what to charge locally, marketing tactics that work there.
That makes a lot more sense. So the big network is there, but the real, practical help comes from connecting with people facing the exact same local challenges.
Yeah, peer support, shared learning. It's valuable.
That's a solid takeaway for anyone, really. Find your niche community within the bigger picture.
Okay, so let's talk about growing the actual business in Georgia. They mentioned a specific question about direct business.
They did. And this really gets into the weeds of Georgia's specific rules. It's quite unique.
How so?
Well, the state actually caps the fee for a notarial act itself. It's just $2.
Wait, seriously, $2?
Yep, $2 per stamp, basically.
Wow. Okay, so you're obviously not building a business on $2 transactions, especially if you're driving to people. Definitely not. And that's where the crucial part came in. The live stream really hammered home the idea of legally charging travel and convenience fees.
Okay, that's the key then. It's not about the notarization fee itself. It's about the service around it.
Precisely. That's how you build a sustainable model there. They even gave a specific example. I think it was for a $45 mobile appointment.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. How did that break down again?
Okay, so it was something like $4 for the actual notarizations, assuming 2 stamps.
Okay, 2 stamps at $2 each.
Then maybe $5 for mileage. They used a standard IRS rate estimate for a short round trip.
Okay, so that's $9 total so far.
Which leaves $36. And that was positioned as the convenience fee, the fee for showing up for the mobile service itself.
Gotcha. That really paints a picture. It's about clearly separating the regulated act from the value-added service. It makes you think, doesn't it? What other fields have similar low base fees but opportunities to charge for the convenience or expertise wrapped around it?
Absolutely. And they were very clear you need meticulous records for this. Keep track of the mileage, the fees, everything. Compliance is essential.
Naturally. You got to cross your T's and dot your I's if you're using that kind of fee structure.
For sure. Now, interestingly, while Georgia was the focus, someone from Alabama asked about something called notary presentment.
Notary presentment. The source didn't really explain what that is, did it?
No, not in detail.
Yeah.
But the fact that the question came up from another state
Shows that these business questions aren't just stuck in one place, right?
Yeah.
People are looking for diverse services and answers across the board, even in specialized fields.
Yeah. And they also briefly mentioned handling subpoena work.
Another potential service line, then.
Seems like it. Again, no deep dive on how they handled it, but it just points to, looking for those adjacent opportunities.
What else stood out? There's something about training, I think.
Oh, right. The value of training, even if your state doesn't actually require it.
That's a great point. It's easy to just do the bare minimum required by law.
But the argument was that seeking out training anyway, investing in yourself, basically boosts your professionalism, your expertise.
And your credibility, you'd think. It sets you apart. It's not just a box to tick. It's about actually being better at what you do, which should help grow the business.
Exactly. It's proactive.
And speaking of being proactive and, well, protecting yourself, they also touched on E&O insurance, right? Errors and omissions.
Yep. Just to mention, but an important one. Basic risk management for any service professional, really.
Absolutely crucial. Okay, let's shift to something really concrete. They gave some specific marketing advice.
They did. A very simple, actionable tip for the weekend.
Which was?
Just contact one potential business client, like a law office, maybe a contractor, or an estate planner, someone who might need notary services regularly.
Just one. That feels doable. Less intimidating than, go find 10 clients.
Right. And the smart part was they mentioned that the Notary Buddy community actually has email templates for this.
Oh, nice. So they're not just saying, go do it. They're giving you the tool to make it easier, removing the friction. That's smart.
Very practical. And speaking of practical tools, they recommended a website, pirateship.com.
Pirate ship? For what?
For getting discounted shipping labels. Apparently, it's useful for notaries who end up mailing documents frequently, maybe for attorneys or apostille services.
Ah, okay. Makes sense if you're handling physical documents that need sending off. Did they say how much you could save?
Yeah, they gave one example where someone saved over $30 on just one shipment compared to standard rates.
30 bucks. Okay, that's not insignificant. Those little operational costs can really add up over time. Finding ways to trim them is smart business.
Definitely. Every bit helps.
So pulling it all together, it sounds like growing a notary business, or likely any service business, really boils down to a mix of things.
Yeah, it seems like engaging with your community, both broad and niche.
Really understanding the specific rules you operate under, like those Georgia fees, and finding creative, ethical ways to work within them.
Committing to always learning, like with that training point.
Doing proactive, even if small marketing steps.
And keeping an eye out for those practical cost-saving tools.
It's a combination, isn't it? Not just one magic bullet.
It seems that way.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is this. Even if Georgia notary law means nothing to you directly, think about your own field. What are your equivalent regulations or unique market conditions?
Right. And how could you maybe add value, like the Georgia notaries do with those service fees, in a way that's compliant but also fair compensation for your time and effort?
Right.
Are there hidden ways to charge for convenience or expertise?
And are you looking for your own version of pirate ship? Those tools that save maybe a little bit here and there but add up. Or your own version of the Notary Buddy community.
Finding those peers, those resources, it could really be the thing that helps unlock that next level of growth for you, couldn't it?
Absolutely. Definitely something to think about.